Go ahead.
Thank you. About the economics of COVID that you just mentioned, now that daily doses administered of the vaccine are down below 300,000 for the first time since December, we've heard talk about maybe updating the mask guidance. Do you know if there's been any talk here about updating guidance to start shutting businesses down in places that have very low vaccination rates?
No, there has not been, no.
Okay. And then on crime generally.
Can I note, though, two things just
Yeah.
for your public information purposes? One is that, well, we have seen, we don't look at 1 week of data as an indication of, as you know, we talk about weekly averages. We did see larger numbers of unemployment claims in areas where there are lower vaccination rates. It's not enough data to draw a conclusion. I'm just noting it for all of you. I would also note that on the American Rescue Plan, the way we design that is for the impact and the assistance that we're providing to communities across the country to be long-lasting, not to stop all in July or all in September. It extends far beyond. That is a lesson learned from the past, and so there are different components of that package that's providing assistance to businesses, to organizations, to communities that is going to be lasting for months to come.
Okay. And then
Proceed.
On crime, the intersection in D.C. that was shot up last night, only about 1.5 miles from here, President Biden had lunch in that neighborhood this summer. What is your message to innocent people who live in cities like this one who might start to get worried about getting caught in the crossfire?
Well, their message is that the cornerstone of the president's comprehensive plan to reduce gun violence is providing communities with the tools and resources they need to reduce gun crime, including in Washington, D.C. And there are a couple of steps specific to Washington, D.C. I mean, a lot of us live there or live in the neighboring communities or know people who are on 14th Street or in the neighboring areas. And for people who are not, who are watching or hearing this, who are not from those neighborhoods, there's a lot of restaurants there, a lot of foot traffic. This is a pretty popular part of the city many of us live in. D.C. is one of the 5 areas nationwide where DOJ launched gun trafficking strike forces just yesterday, which are going to focus law enforcement resources across jurisdictions to keep guns out of the hands of criminals. DC is also a part of our 16-city community violence intervention collaborative, which is helping cities implement evidence-based strategies, which have been shown to reduce violence by as much as 60%. And Washington, D.C. is also taking advantage of the historic funding that they've gotten through the rescue plan to bolster public safety. So Mayor Bowser's budget proposal would invest $59 million from the rescue plan to reduce violent crime. It would add 100 new slots to the cadet program and add $14 million for youth safety initiatives. So we're certainly seeing this and feeling this even in our community here, and it is one of the cities that DOJ is focused on.
And you just mentioned the White House is working with D.C. as part of this collaborative, but just in the last week and a half or so since the mayor of D.C. was here, a 6-year-old girl was shot and killed. A Nationals game had to be evacuated, and then there's this incident last night where diners are diving for cover. So at what point would the president maybe reconsider his strategy?
Well, I would say we're just implementing our strategy, which is a multi-pronged effort to work in partnership with local leaders, including Mayor Bowser, who has been a great partner to us in this effort to address gun violence that's rising in cities across the country, including Washington. And the events of the last week are just examples of that. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jen.